Hey everybody, welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake. We are heading down the driveway. Got the tripod, got the gloves, backpack full of camera equipment, and we are going to hop into the Super Duty truck hooked up to the Sure-Trac dump trailer. We are going to pick up the order of Stihl that I ordered for all of the modifications to the hay elevator, conveyor belt, firewood conveyor thing. If you were watching the last video, you probably saw that I ran out of daylight. Hence, I was not able to load up the conveyor into the back of the trailer, among some other things. But I did get a firewood delivery done, and I got a load of logs dumped and organized in the wood yard. So that was good and successful. Now, I'm gonna go pick up this load of Stihl, and then hopefully later Chris is going to come by and he is going to help me load up the conveyor into the dump trailer this time. We've never loaded the conveyor into the dump trailer. When we went and picked it up, we used my buddy's 16-foot tilt deck, like flatbed trailer. So loading it into a 14-foot dump trailer might be a little bit more tricky, especially because we have the log arch on the back, but we're thinking that we can make it happen. It's definitely going to be some overhang, but we're going to angle that towards the truck. So let's go pick up this load of Stihl, and then we will see how loading up the conveyor goes. But this is going to be the first step and first video in hopefully a series, maybe 2 or 3 videos, of doing the modifications, turning this thing from a bone stock hay elevator to a full-on firewood conveyor. We have a lot of different modifications we're going to be doing. We're going to pick up a decent amount of Stihl tubing, some plate, and a couple other things, and hopefully that's going to be all we're going to need to make all the modifications. So stick with us, and we're going to go for a little road trip. All right guys, we made it. We are here at Metal Supermarkets in Danbury, Connecticut, and I got permission to film, so head inside here.
It wasn't 020, right? It was like 34 gauge, right? It was 34 gauge.
All right guys, so I'm here with Ed, and he works here at Metal Supermarkets. Now Ed, how long has this location been around here?
We just opened in June of this year, 2022.
Cool, and do you have other locations?
So I own this location, but the franchise has over 100 locations in North America.
Oh wow, okay. So you guys can help service anybody in any state.
Yeah, we specialize in small quantity, cut the size, and we're looking for hobbyists to come in and pick around in our drops, and have us cut metal to size for them, and hopefully help them complete their projects.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like you got quite an array of stuff here on the racks, big and small.
Lots of drops for people to pick through to find the things that they might need.
Oh, so like cutoffs and stuff? Is that what a drop is?
Yeah.
Very cool. Lots of different stuff.
We do fabrication work. We have welders and outside fabricators with plasma cutting. Some of our stores actually have plasma or water jet.
So full service.
Large press brakes.
Cool.
We do bending, things like that. We got an iron worker over here. We punch square holes, round holes, ovals. Very cool. Cutting edges, things like that.
And do you deliver?
Absolutely, yeah. We deliver quite a bit.
Very nice. Well,
we delivered some I-beams today, actually, to a customer that was doing a remodel on a pretty large house.
Very nice. So from small stuff all the way up to full-size I-beams.
12-inch channel up there.
Oh yeah, that's some big stuff.
We got sheet and plate back there, so we have 1/4-inch plate we can shear to size. We can do a 1x1 piece for somebody. Or we had just had a guy come in, he was learning how to weld, so he wants to do body work, so we bought a 2x2 piece of 20 gauge and had to slice it up into 24 pieces for him so he could try to weld them all back together.
Some little practice pieces.
Yeah,
that's how I started out as well.
Just got a Lincoln arc welder, and he wants to practice, yeah.
That's fun stuff.
We work with the schools, we work with the Yukon race teams. We try to help people that are, promoting welding and fabrication.
That's awesome.
And getting young people into it.
Yeah, when I first got into it, I saw a lot of metal places, you know, they only would deliver, you know, a certain amount of metal or yeah, larger stuff, and they would not cut, or it was an extra fee to cut.
And I don't want to talk to you unless it's a $3,000 order.
Right, they wouldn't even give me the time of day.
We have people come in here buy $8 worth of metal every day.
Well, that's awesome. Big or small, metal supermarkets can handle it all, it sounds like.
Exactly.
Awesome, thank you.
All right.
All right, guys, we got the metal in the trailer. Ed was very impressed by the dump trailer and the whole log arch, but there you can see, not a lot, just some plate, some 1x1 tubing, and 40 foot of hot rolled angle iron. That is what Chris, my fabricating buddy, requested. There's the log arch. Still got to do a video on that puppy, but it was actually funny because I bought a lot of this metal from this building. It was a different business at the time, but back when we were building this newest log arch, I bought a lot of the metal from here, but it was a family-owned business at the time, and I guess they sold to metal supermarkets, and Ed bought the facility. But anyway, really nice guy. We were just talking for a little bit. He's into firewood and everything. He's going to check out the channel. Let me pull the keys out here so it stops beeping. But if you're in the Connecticut, you know, area and you need metal, or anywhere for that matter, check out metal supermarkets. But if you're in Connecticut, talk with Ed from Metal Supermarkets here in Danbury. All right, guys, we are back in the wood yard. So we are going to start breaking down this log splitter and the conveyor to eventually load both of them up onto the truck and trailer. Now, in preparation for travel, I went to the hardware store and I bought a bunch of these like plugs. They're like pipe fitting plugs. I got 1/2 inch. I believe all these connections are 1/2 inch MPT. So we're gonna go ahead, find out here. Yep, that seems to be threading in, which is great because I really don't want a bunch of hydraulic fluid all over my truck bed and trailer. I'm thinking that the splitter is going to go in the truck bed, and obviously conveyor is going to go in the trailer. So I couldn't remember how many of each style I needed, whether I needed caps or plugs, but the splitter here is taking 2 caps on the cylinder itself, and then I think I'm going to need 4, or I'm sorry, misspoke. The splitter is taking 2 plugs, and I think I'm going to need 4 caps, or 2 caps and 2 plugs for the hoses on the conveyor here. So I'm going to get these in, and we should be good to go. Okay, these 2 are now disconnected. Conveyor is free. I think I got to get this splitter out of the way first, just because it's kind of underneath the conveyor. So yeah, and I actually even have 2 spare parts, so I bought more than I needed, which is very rare. All right, guys, I just moved the truck up to where I'm gonna have more room. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick up the splitter from the back as I was hoping to. You might have saw it like tilted forward because of the weight of the I-beam sticking out in the front there. So I picked it up now from the side. So I'm gonna have to like kind of tee off to the truck, and I'm hoping to get the motor side, all the business end, in the bed up against like toolbox up towards the cab of the truck, and then have the I-beam and everything sticking out off the tailgate. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that. but I moved the truck so I have more room. So this is what we're currently looking at. So I want this end in farther and this end sticking out on the tailgate. So let's see what we can do. Okay guys, so here I am trying to load up this splitter into the back of my truck. Now, hindsight's always 20/20. There are definitely easier ways that I could have gone about doing this, but in the moment, I didn't really think of those ways. I kind of had the idea in my head of how I was going to do it and struggled through the whole way. So as you can see here, I'm trying to put it in the back of the truck, and the tongue of it with that I-beam is so long and heavy that I figured I'd use an IBC tote to kind of support it to be able to reposition my forks. The pallet fork frame was pretty tight up against like the tailgate and my rear tail light, so I had to be careful backing the tractor up here. But as you can see, I'm pulling back underneath just in case something were to fail. The splitter wouldn't go crashing out of the back of the truck. Took me a while to notice this next part, but obviously the splitter has a flat tire, which is why I'm having so much trouble pushing it. Here I am trying to center it a little bit, and yep, it still won't roll because of that flat tire. There we go. Got myself the little compressor and going to fill up that tire. Good thinking, Jake. If I can figure out how to turn on the compressor, of course. There we go. So yeah, now that I got the tire filled up, I'm hoping things should go a little bit easier. Still trying to push it in. Doesn't really want to go. Fighting me every step of the way. At this point, I think I realized that ramps would have just been easier if I had filled up that tire and pushed the splitter in, but by myself, guiding it up onto ramps, that was kind of why I didn't go the whole ramp route. So it's finally in. Okay guys, here we are. Got the conveyor out. It's getting dark, so I'm just trying to rush. But you guys understand what that all entails. Got the tractor lit up. Got a new light on the front there. This company sent it to me. It's called O-Light. We will talk more about that maybe a little bit later. But first time I'm using it, just got it today. It's super bright. It looks brighter than the big tool rack lights. It's the one down there. But anyway, conveyor is in position. Chris is on his way over. This thing is wide. The trailer's 7 foot wide. I think this is just gonna fit up the ramps. And I'm hoping that from wheel to the back is less than 14 feet. I think it might be just a hair over, in which case we might have to strap down and have it just like the back end sitting on the closed doors, which is no big deal. But that's basically where we're at for right now. I moved the steel we picked up earlier. It's all over to the side. That's just a piece of plate and a little piece, like 6 footer of 1x1. So the conveyor can just roll over that. It's not gonna do any damage. But yeah, that's basically where we're at. I'm gonna wait for Chris, and I'm hoping that the tongue of the trailer is long enough so that we can still hook the dump trailer up to my truck and just have to take one truck. But because that splitter overhangs the tailgate by so much, I think it's going to be awful close, and I'd be worried about like turns and stuff and any bumps or like, you know, pitches with the tongue of the old lock splitter hitting into the trailer. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Might have to put the dump trailer with the conveyor on Chris's truck, or, you know, vice versa. Well, actually, that's how it'd have to work, because I'm not loading that splitter up into his truck again, even with his help. That was a pain in the butt. So hopefully Chris will get here soon, and then we can get this thing loaded up. In the meantime, this is the light that this company sent me, O-Light. I believe it's like 1600 lumens. It's called the Swivel or something. Swivel Pro Max handheld working light. 1500 lumens. It's pretty cool. It folds up like this. You can just like hold it, or it has this, you know, stand. You can stand it up. It's also magnetic. You can unfold it completely, and it's got a little carabiner that you can clip, and it also, you know, swivels based on how you want to do it. It also even looks like there's threads there if you want to like put it on a tripod or something. There's all different settings, and it's rechargeable, and you can actually even use it as a charger bank. There's like a USB-C and like a regular USB port there, which is pretty cool. So like if I wanted to charge my phone or like a camera battery or something, I think I could charge it off this. It's pretty bright. It's got different settings. That's low, medium, high, and then there's like a dim, like a nightlight thing, and then, you know, that's it. So I believe, actually, I don't, to be honest, I really don't know how much they go for. Maybe like 50 bucks or something like that. But Olight is doing a sale, which I will notify you guys about later, because Chris just showed up. So we're going to get this thing loaded up.
Ramp's good? Yep.
Does it have to be up that high?
I mean, it's got to go higher.
It's gotta go higher.
We're still not in.
Well, no. It can overhang the back, remember?
Why?
On the
Like
gate.
the door's open?
Yeah. No, leave the doors closed, but we'll just rest it, we'll pick it up and rest it on the gate.
Okay.
Because it can't be up that high,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, so I guess let's try that. You want to pick this up? We'll close the doors and see.
How low we can get it,
Yeah.
right?
Because that's going to change the.
I know, it changes the geometry of everything. Push it back more?
Well, to lower this front post kind of lays down towards the winch.
Right. So start laying it down, and as you lay it down, I'll bring it back. I'll pull it back. You know? Yeah, it's just going back on its own. I think that's fine, right?
That's the height of your arc, right?
I don't know.
Can't really see it.
No, it's definitely higher. Go down a little bit.
All the way down. And see
Well, so be careful, because that right track, it was popping out when I would get like within maybe 8 inches of the end.
Oh yeah.
I think you're good there. Lock it. Lock it off. I mean, we're only overhanging by 3 feet back here. Yeah, you're golden. All right, good. That's good. Okay, guys, let me grab you and show you what we got going on here. Betsy. Huh? No, she was jumping up on the trailer. Okay, guys, this is pretty good. I'd call this a win. It is in the dump trailer, and it is roughly the same height as my arch. Now, my log arch measures to be 10 foot 6 inches, give or take, off the ground. This might be a little bit higher than that, but that's all right. I mean, we're nowhere near like the 14-foot max, and we're not like going under any like low train bridges or anything like that. So that is a win. We're gonna get this puppy strapped down, and then we're gonna back my truck up and see if we can get the splitter to clear the back or the front of the trailer. If not, we're gonna unhook and put the splitter in Chris's truck. Since he has a long bed and no toolbox, it'll easily fit in the bed of his truck. And then we'll just use Chris's truck to tow everything up to the shop tomorrow. But this is a win. Currently, right now, I'm holding this O-light, and it's really bright. So that's a win as well. Thank you, O-light. All right, guys, we made it. It got dark last night, but we got everything loaded up. Got the splitter in the back of Chris's truck, conveyor up here. We are here at our other buddy Chris's shop. He just fired up the Kubota to unload. What do you think about this newest project, buddy? You ready for another one? How you doing? This one runs this time, all right? So don't break it any worse. All right, we got work to do. Well, that was certainly easier than how we got it in. No, we used the tractor with the ramps, but this was much easier. What do you think? You think he's in over his head?
I don't know. He's gonna surprise me.
Yeah, we'll see. I told, not this Chris, but the other Chris, I said, you know, we like to test you at least once a year with one of these ridiculous projects that I come up with. So, you know, as I said before, at least this one is running when we brought it to him. The last conveyor I brought to him was not even close. We got the conveyor out. It's over here. The shop's over here, but he's got a bulldozer in it right now, so that's gonna take precedent. But as you can see, they got some equipment. I've showed this place before. This is Chris's service truck. But you know, I told him to basically model the refurbishment and modification of our conveyor to be something similar to these big giant conveyors. You know, if it comes back running on a remote control, I wouldn't complain about that. So we'll see how he does.